Welcome. It is Tuesday, upper body day. Today's the day to burn it out, okay? We have our warm-up here, guys. We have 4 different moves, 40 seconds of movement to 10 seconds of rest. We're gonna go through this 3 times and then move on. Workout 1.0, we have 4 different moves here, guys. Every other move is a different tempo or timing, I suppose. So move number 1 is for a minute, move number 2 is for 20 seconds. Minute, 20 seconds. The first round is to this tempo, or timing. The second round is to this timing. We'll explain that further when we get to workout 1.0. So you have 2 quad sets. The third part of the workout, workout 2.0 down here, we have an EMOM for 6 minutes. You're going to complete one part of the minute as a rep-based portion. And then for the remainder of that minute, you have a working period where you can complete a different move. So we'll do that 2 times per move set, and then move on to our finisher, which we will explain when we get there. So let's get our warm-up set and going. So Kyle's gonna demo the warm-up moves for us today, guys. We have 4 different moves. Move number 1, you're going to need a mini band for this one. You don't necessarily need one, however, it's going to amplify the move. So you're going to put the band halfway between your wrist and your elbow. Let's not put it right on our wrist. Let's make sure that it's a little bit lower. From there, you're going to provide some pressure on that band, keeping your rib cage tucked in and your core nice and engaged. You're going to lift your arms up and down. Now let's make sure in this move that as we lift up, we're not driving our elbows forward, that we're keeping our arms straight up and down the entire time. Move number 2, we're going to go ahead and sit on the floor into a V-sit position. You can choose to have your feet elevated, or you can plant your heels down on the floor. You're going to do alternating archers. So one side at a time, you're going to pull back and keep one arm extended. So when you're doing this, guys, I want to see a nice, proud, tall chest with a chin that's not glued to your chest. Move number 3, you can grab a band for this one, whether it is a black band or a string band, and you're going to be doing external rotations. You're going to do them alternating one side at a time. So Kyle's demoing here with the black band. If you have a red band, you can hold it like this and do the same thing. You can also do this with a pair of dumbbells, just holding like this. All right, the final move is chest fly pulses. We're also going to demo to you exactly how we want the orientation of your hands. So Kyle is showing right here that the palms are facing his toes, so his thumbs are in, okay? From here, you are doing pulses on the outside portion of this fly. You're not ever coming and resting at the top. You are choosing the space where it is the most work, and you are pulsing in there, making sure that our low back is glued to the floor and our core stays engaged the entire time. So again, 40 seconds of work to 10 seconds of rest. I'm going to connect up our timer here. Get the equipment that you might need for this warm-up ready to go, guys, and we'll get started. The timer is up. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Now, this move specifically is not intended to be fast, fast, fast. We don't want that. We want you to go slow and steady through this move, really focusing on that external pressure. If you're doing it right, it doesn't take long for that burn to get really hot, going in through the shoulders and the triceps. So breathing through this move, going steady and slow, and really watching your technique is exactly what we want to see here. Okay, we've got about 10 seconds left here, and then we're going to sit down, still holding on to that band for V-sit archers. Now, if you don't have a band available to you, you can do V-sit punches instead, alternating one arm at a time. That would be an acceptable alternate to this banded move here. Good, so as he's pulling back, he's keeping his chin nice and tall. He's trying to keep his shoulders down and away from his ears, keeping a nice long neck, which means that he's engaging through his back and he's not engaging through his traps or his shoulders. He's also really working on keeping that rib cage tucked in and down and really acting activating through the core. Now anytime, just like you saw Kyle just do here, anytime you feel like it's not quite hitting the right way, I want you to take a moment, shake it out, and then pop back into the move with proper technique. Next, guys, we're doing our external rotations, grabbing whichever band or dumbbell orientation that you want, and getting started one arm at a time. Again, just like the first move, guys, this is not intended to be overly fast. This is more of a slow burning style move. So I want for the tempo to be rather slow. Think 1, 2, 1, 2. Go 1, 2, 1, 2. Also, you notice Kyle's stance here. He's got a micro bend through his knees. He's keeping his core engaged. His shoulders are relaxed. He's focusing on keeping the work happening in this area only. Lovely, we've got about 5 seconds left here before we pop down to the floor and do our chest fly pulses, remembering that our thumbs are in, so our palms are facing our toes. Good. Kyle started a little early just to demo what this is supposed to look like. So you see that Kyle, I could not fit the palm of my hand under his back. He's keeping his body pushed into the floor to ensure that his core is doing the work and not his lower back. He's also having a micro bend through those elbows to ensure that he is not going to hurt the joint. So he's pulsing through this move, taking little breaks when he knows he is no longer able to keep proper form, which is what I want you guys doing at home as well. We're almost there with about 7 seconds remaining on that timer, and then we're going to take a mini little break to grab a tiny sip of water, and then we're going to pop back up to the top. Really nice work at home. Awesome work, Kyle. We're going to grab a really quick sip of water, and then we're going to go right back to the top with those overhead reaches. So get ready for that. We're going to get it started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. 40 seconds is back on the clock. Now, likely you're going to feel the burn a little bit harder this time now that those muscles are alive and well. I want you to kind of embrace that feeling, push through that feeling, and know that that burning feeling, that sensation, means that the moves coming up in workout 1.0 and 2.0 and your finisher are going to be ready to go, that you're warm and your muscle groups are ready to take on these fresh moves. So we've got about 8 seconds left. You see Kyle's listening to his body. He knows when he's pushing outside of the realm of his technique, and that's what I want to see from you guys too, taking little breaks when you absolutely need them. We're going right to our V-sit archers next. Setting ourselves up. Proud chest, tall chin. We've got our heels kind of tacked to the floor if you feel the activation too much in your hips. If you're someone who has really, really long legs, it's likely that you're going to feel more comfortable or more core activation with your heels on the floor or close to the floor. If you're someone who has shorter legs, you might have the opportunity to go a little bit higher without feeling it pick up in the wrong spots. A lot of the V-sit technique is based on physiology, so pick whichever works best for you. We've got about 6 seconds left here. You see this tempo here. He's not going too fast, but he's getting lots of engagement. So 10 seconds, guys, and then we're on to our external rotations, one side at a time.
Not sure about you guys, but that left side of mine, ooh, not quite the same as the right.
We always have our strong side and our not so strong side. And we're always trying to battle to keep them as even as possible.
I want to get angry at it. I'm like, move!
Don't get angry. Just like be encouraging.
Don't get angry.
You can do it.
Get even, guys.
Don't follow that advice. Karma is real.
That is true.
We've got 18 seconds remaining here, guys. Nice, slow, steady pace here. Again, thinking about that tempo. 2, 2, 2, 2.
That
Going
feeling,
nice and slow.
It just makes you want to laugh because you're like, what?
Why
I know.
won't you do it?
And relaxing on this move. Woo. Moving to our final move, again, to our chest fly pulses. Again, palms facing towards the toes. And begin, folks. This is the end of our second round. After this, we will have one more round to go, and then we will move on to a stretching sequence. Good. You hear Kyle's breathing. He is making sure to breathe with the move, making sure that his body has enough oxygen to get through the moves appropriately. We are just over halfway, guys. Persevere through, push yourselves. If you're feeling a little bit warmer, I expect a little bit more intensity. You got 10 seconds left here. Keep that core nice and tight. Keep yourself moving. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Again, here's your opportunity to grab a little sip of water, and we're going to go into our third and final round. Now in this round, guys, it's gonna burn. I wanna hear you guys pushing hard through this entire third sequence.
I want to hear you guys through your muted microphones.
That's
Let's
right,
go.
I wanna hear you from the studio. I don't care if you're in BC, Jackkedd.
We're listening.
All right, we're gonna do it.
Let's go, guys.
3, 2, 1, and begin. We are pushing the limits, guys. We are really feeling that fire. It's great weather for fires, right? Bonfire season is upon us, even if the bonfire happens to be in our delts.
What would that rotator cuff?
Loving it, guys. We've got 20 seconds remaining here. Really pushing through, giving yourself that checklist. What's my core doing? What's my upper body positioning doing? Where are my elbows? Where is the band sitting? And give yourself all of these things to think about over and over again, and give yourself a way to self-regulate. Wonderful. We are resting, going to our V-sit archers for the final time. Again, this move is not intended to be fast. Long neck, slow transitions. Good. So you notice that even in the resting phase of this move, there's still tension in that band here. So he's not going from this position to here and making it slack. He's constantly got tension in this band so that it is always a little bit of work. And appropriately taking breaks when his body's like, hey, let's kick in this inappropriate muscle group to help. Then you tell that muscle group to sit down because it's not their turn. We've got 8 seconds left, guys. Keep breathing through this move. Push yourself right to that finish line. Do not give up. And now you can rest. Moving on to our final round of external rotations. Amping ourselves up. Not getting angry at our left side. Embracing the knowing that our left side still has some learning to do. We are working hard. Let's try, guys, as we're putting in that effort, not to crank our necks in. Stay tall, stay long through the torso. Think posture.
And just make a face instead.
You can make the red tomato face. We all do it, you know? That's it. I love it. I love that face. Yep. We should have a contest. Whose face gets more red? Personally, I think I win.
I think it's Heather. Mine just
And
contorts.
resting. We're going to go to our final round of our chest fly pulses, folks. And then we're on to stretching. And begin. Really working through, guys, understanding that you get a prolonged rest period after this. So I want you guys to work hard. Take those appropriate breaks when you're feeling it picking up in the wrong spots, but try to get back to it a little quicker than maybe you have in the past 2 rounds. It is time to make those minor improvements, marginal improvements, because every time that you get back to an exercise maybe a little bit faster than last time, that's a little bit of growth right there. That's something that you weren't able to do last time, which is exciting. And relax. Amazing work, guys. Grab that water, shake out the body, take that burn, that fire, put it out for the time being, knowing that it's coming back real soon. He's got his water. We're going to go through some stretching, guys, and then we're going to move on to workout 1.0. We're going to start with some torso rotations. So our feet are going to go slightly wider than hips, micro bend to the knees, and let's just loosen up our upper body.
It's like self-chiropractic sometimes.
I know, I just hear snap, crackle, pop, and it feels real good. From here, we're going to face front, and we're going to give ourselves 20 bear hugs. I'm just going to say bear crawls. We're not giving ourselves bear crawls.
20 self-love.
20 self-love. Alternating which arm goes on top, guys. Once you've completed 20, you're going to go big swing up, really opening up through the chest. The dancer's coming out, folks. So you're going swing and then up into a Y, opening up through that chest, guys. Good. When you've completed about 20 rounds of that, I want you to really relax into a forward fold position. It'll stretch through the posterior chain, which is likely a little bit tight, seeing as yesterday was your leg day. So give your lower body a chance to kind of loosen out. And I want you to go all middle arms like this, just to give your low back a chance to decompress, okay? So really think long thoughts here, folks. If your arms are really long and you're close to the floor, grab for opposite elbows. Really work on swaying back and forth here. Wicked. We're going to slowly roll back up to a standing position. Arms are going to go out into a T, and you're going to go from small arm circles to large arm circles. Graduate through it in a way that feels right to you. There's no right or wrong way to go through this. You just want to go from small to large. Spend a little time at those large circles, and then travel back down to small, okay? When you're traveling back down to small, you're going to switch directions. So you're going to go from here, you're going to take a second, swing big in the opposite direction, and then work your way back down to small. Once you're at small, take a second, shake it out, and do that one more time through. Lovely. We're going to do one more kind of chest opening, pec lengthening stretch before we get into it. You're going to need a wall. So we're going to walk up to the wall, arm is going to go up on the wall. The foot that's closest to the wall is going to step forward, and you're going to really stretch out through this open spot right here. For some of us, we might just go a little bit forward, and it's like, boom, you're feeling that stretch. For others, you might have to play around with the angle of that arm to see what feels best for you. So play around with that for a few moments. When you find that magic sweet spot, hold on to that spot, take 5 deep breaths there, and then switch sides. This will be our last stretch before we get into workout 1.0. I don't know about you guys, but this stretch, you know how some stretches make you physically angry? Like you're stretching through them and you're feeling this bubbling of anger. And then other stretches are like the best thing that's ever happened to you and you just feel like you're on cloud 9. This is a cloud 9 stretch for me. I love this one.
really wondered where that was going for a second.
Well, I feel like there's 2 opposing ones. I feel like anytime I'm stretching my hamstrings, I'm kind of angry. But this one, I'm really not. It's the complete opposite.
Not how I feel. I feel just relaxed and calm.
Well, I'm happy for you.
It's when the muscle doesn't do what I want it to do, then we get angry.
Then when that left arm is trying to do the external rotation and it's not doing it with that sound.
That feeling. That's how it feels in my head, guys.
All right, moving on. We're at workout 1.0, folks. We have 4 moves coming your way. There's going to be 2 rounds of these 4 moves. The first round has a specific set of timing that we will explain. And the next round, we decrease the time. So pay attention. Move number 1, we're doing an incline chest press. You need a couch or a chair, or even to put your back up, prop it up on a couple of pillows, that will help too. So the angle in which we're doing this chest press affects how the pecs are built. So right now we are working in a different way than when you would be laying flat out on the floor. So he is stabilizing here. You see that his core is nice and tight. He's not letting the prop in his shoulders allow his low back to bend like this. He's keeping nice and tight here, folks. That's what I want to see from you guys as well. Move number 2, we're going to be doing water bugs. Now in this first move, it's a strength element that you're going to be doing for 1 minute. This move is more of a cardio, it's a little bit faster. It's only going to be for 20 seconds. So Kyle is going through the full expression of the movement here. He's going to show different levels of the movement. So a more beginner version of this movement will be stepping one arm, 1 foot at a time, and that is a really great option if you don't have the power or strength to go all the way out and then all the way back in. Again, only 20 seconds there. The third move is reverse flies, and we're going to make sure that our pinkies face up. Okay?
Put your middle finger to the air.
So we're doing the hinge forward position. His pinky fingers are going to, when he's at the top of the move, be facing the ceiling. Big squeeze through the back, nice long neck here, okay? Last but not least, we're going to be doing inverted shoulder taps. So you're in this strong pike position, this downward dog position, and then from here, you are going through shoulder taps. Now let's pay attention to what's happening in his shoulders. Right now, his shoulders are very open. If he was going to close his shoulders, it would look like this. This is not what I want to see. I want to see you push so your ears are right beside your arms, and that's the position I want you to stick in for this move, okay? If that is really, really challenging for you, you can change the angle of your pike to make less pressure push down through your shoulders. So we're going to go into the first round. 60 seconds for the first move, 20 for the second, 60 for the third, 20 for the fourth, okay? You will see that expressed on the timer. We're going to get this party started. 1 minute for the first move in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Your upper body is elevated. You are pushing those weights straight overhead, and they're going to come gently back down to the side. You notice that the wrists are staying relatively over top of the elbows as he comes down. He's not letting his wrists come too close to his face. I don't want this angle. I want it to be closer to a 90-degree angle. So check on yourself and see what the elbow to wrist ratio looks like. I want to see it looking a lot like Kyle's. You are just over that halfway point. Keep pushing through this move, keep working. Maybe make some mental notes to see if this feels different than the way it would feel if you were doing it on the ground like we've done for the most part, okay? So like really breathe through it, finish strong. We have about 13 seconds remaining. Again, if you need to take little breaks, we encourage little breaks, but little being the opportune word, get back into it as quickly as you can safely manage. You have 10 seconds of rest. We're moving over to our water bugs, no equipment needed, just getting ourselves set up on the floor. And 20 seconds of work here, folks, pushing through for only 20 seconds, which means that I want your intensity through this move to be as high as what you can manage, okay? For some of us, that might look like 1,000,000,000 miles an hour, and that's cool. For others, it might be a lot slower and more controlled. It has everything to do with what you're comfortable with. We have 10 seconds before we move on to our reverse fly, pinkies up. And begin. That's it. Breathing through this move, really focusing on that hinge position. You see he's got a micro bend here through his knees. He's distributing weight through the tripod of his foot, pushing equally down through those 3 points of contact. His hips are sent back. He hasn't just hinged straight forward. He's sent the hips back. He's feeling a minor stretch through his posterior chain. And he's keeping his chest nice and straight. So from the top of his head to his tailbone is a nice straight line. We are just over that halfway point, guys. Please keep working hard, thinking pinkies up as we go, really squeezing hard through the back. At the top of that move, you want a big squeeze and a nice controlled lower back down to the starting position. Again, with this move, I don't want gravity to win. I want you to slowly get back down to that starting position. And 10 seconds of rest before we get into our inverted shoulder taps. And then we're going to move on back to the top, but with different timing. And here we go with our inverted shoulder taps. You notice that Kyle's going for one of the most advanced expressions of this movement. He has a very high pike position, and he's on his tippy toes. The more advanced version of this, he would be in handstand. If you want to make this easier, you simply walk your feet out. And we're resting, folks. Grab a really quick sip of water. Next round, we are switching only the moves that were at 60 seconds. So this round, the moves that were at 60 seconds last time will now be 40 seconds. The moves that were at 20 seconds stay the same. All right? So we're going to get ourselves prepared for that. I'm going to quickly switch over my timer for you. And we're going to get started going into our incline chest press in 3, 2, 1, and begin. That 40 seconds is up on the clock. We are pushing ourselves very hard here, guys. Again, pushing ourselves very hard does not mean go faster. It means feel the weight, control the weight, engage the right way. It does not mean speed up. As you're seeing Kyle here, he's got some heavier weights here, but he's not going at breakneck speed. What you do see is control on the way down of this move and a good, powerful push to the top. What you also see is wonderful core support through this move. And rest, moving on to our water bugs next, folks. Taking a few cleansing deep breaths here to be prepared for this next move. And begin. Pushing yourself as hard as you can manage. Again, guys, only 20 seconds of work here. You're doing fantastic. Pushing through whichever version of this move works best for you and your athletic capability. That's it. Breathing hard. You've got 3 seconds left. Our next move is those reverse flies with the pinkies up. So grabbing the set of weights that works best for you. We're going to be demoing with a band this time here in the studio. And beginning, this is your 40-second move. You see Kyle made that wonderful correction in his lower back there. He felt that he was rounding out, and he pushed himself back into position, which is him going through his mental checklist. What are my feet doing? How am I balancing? Are my knees micro-bent? Where are my hips? Let's see what my ribs and my back are doing. How is the move itself? Again, that checklist sounds long, but you can rapidly go through it in this move. It's like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes kind of situation.
It takes like half a second.
Half a second. It's really quick, and it's a really important task to learn to self-regulate. Resting, guys, you're doing fantastic. We're going right back to our inverted shoulder taps. Now Kyle is going almost handstand here. He is elevating his back feet. This is a great option for you at home. Use your couch, use a chair. Safely prop that chair up against something so it doesn't slide away. Aaliyah, if you are at home and you're doing this, I want to see pictures of you doing this in a handstand. That's what I want to see, girlfriend. And resting, really good work, guys. Let's take a little break here. We're going to move on to our next quad set of moves. Now this next quad set is going to be in the exact same fashion as the first one. You're going to have the first round through with this set of timing, and the second round through with that set of timing. Making sense? So, move number 1. We are going to get on our knees. We're going to do kneeling overhead tricep extensions. When we kneel, we're getting rid of any kind of popping assistance from our legs. So more pressure or more intensity is going to be put into this move. You can also do this move from a seated position on a chair or a couch. Tucking that rib cage in, holding that weight overhead. We're going to try not to make that Y shape with our elbows. You're trying to keep your elbows facing forward for this move. Move number 2, we're going to be performing dips. So get that chair, get that couch ready. You are going to try to keep your torso going straight up and down. The last time that I explained dips, I explained it using that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like chocolate water tube. You have to think about going straight up the tube and going straight down the tube. You cannot go forward, you cannot go backwards. It's only up and down. Next move, guys, we have alternating static bicep curls in a wide orientation. So you have your dumbbells, you have your band if you need it. You are alternating 30 seconds for the first round on one side, and then 30 seconds on the opposite side. One side is holding this 90-degree angle the whole time. Do not let it go lower or higher. The other side goes through the full expression of the movement, and you want to think going out and wide. Next move, guys, we're going to be doing a delt activated bicep curl. So for those of you at home, who don't have any bands, get a light pair of dumbbells, even soup cans you're going to be chugging, okay? For those of you who have both bands, you're going to do what Kyle's demonstrating. The small band will go in the middle of your forearm. The string band is going to go underneath your toes, and you're going to perform as quickly as possible with good form through those bicep curls. Now, if you don't have the small band or you don't have the big band, you can do the small band and a pair of light dumbbells, or you could just do the chugs like this, okay? Lots of different options. The point of this move is to move a little bit more quickly, all right? So 20 seconds of that move. So I'm gonna put the timer on. You've got the first round, so 60-second, 20-second combination. We're starting at our kneeling or seated tricep extensions. 1 minute on the clock in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Your timer is on. You notice that Kyle is trying not to shrug his shoulders up as he's extending. He's trying to isolate his tricep here, making it do all the work. The traps don't need to be involved, okay? We're taking the rib cage, tucking it in, and we're trying to get our hips out of that anterior tilt even though we're on our knees. So from here to here is boom, nice and straight. And then we can really focus on what's happening in our triceps. This is going to be a much harder version than the version when you're standing on your feet, because with your legs, you can pop it to the top and use a little bit of momentum. That is not an option here. So you see Kyle taking frequent breaks here because it's really hard. I expect to see some of you at home following suit. If you aren't taking breaks, maybe think about going heavier if you have that option. Okay, we're gonna pop on over to a bench, a chair. We're gonna be performing dips in 5 seconds time. So again, guys, you wanna keep your back as straight as a board. You're going to go up and down, straight as a board, which means the bench or chair that you're on is going to be skipping over that posterior chain the entire time. Now, if you want a little bit of an easier time, you're gonna bend those knees. You're gonna make sure that your heels are directly under your knees. And resting, we're moving right on to our alternating static bicep curl in that wide orientation. Good. Tucking that core in, making sure your core is stable and ready to support this move. You've got one side that's holding on tight and the other side that is moving through the full expression of this bicep curl. Now, when that clock ticks to 30 seconds, you are switching sides. Let's keep breathing through this one, guys. Again, checking in on your body. How is my form? Finding that mental checklist. You're gonna switch sides right now. Make that switch happen. Keep working hard here. It's gonna feel good to have that switch, but it's also gonna burn in a new way. So it's like relief and also not relief at the same time. Confusing and so exhilarating.
Hurts so good, guys.
Hurts so good. Yeah, the drips just coming down his face tell me all of the stories I need to hear. We have 7 seconds left here, guys, and then we're moving on to our delt activated bicep curl. Again, if you have multiple bands at home, please use them both. If you have no bands at home, you're finding that light pair of dumbbells and you're chugging, 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 chugging. Wonderful, guys. 20 seconds is on. I want you flying through this with good technique. If you're flying through this and you've got the bands like Kyle does, you're gonna feel your delts and your biceps simultaneously. If you do not have the band here, it's gonna be more of just a bicep burn. And rest, guys, that is the first round of the second half of 1.0 complete. We're going into our second round of our second half of workout 1.0, which means you get to spend less time at those heavier elements. 40 seconds instead of 60 seconds. Grab water if you need it. Give yourself a little round of breathing, and then we're gonna get started.
That's right, guys. We don't have to go fast and get sweaty.
That's right. Look at how sweaty he is. He's literally dripping. We've got our kneeling overhead tricep extensions. 40 seconds starting in 3, 2, 1, and on. Here he goes. You see Kyle is using a single dumbbell for this move. You have the option to use a single or even 2. If you're using 2, don't allow them to let your arms come out into funny positions. You want to make sure that you're still locked into place. This is going to be a little bit more challenging in terms of stability than it would be with a single dumbbell, so keep that in mind. We are over that halfway point, folks. I want you to give yourself a number to try to do. Let's try to do at least 2 more before that 6 seconds is over, guys. Pushing hard right till the end, getting that last rep in, relaxing and getting set up on your bench for your dips. Again, with your dips, guys, you don't need to be going at 1 billion miles an hour. I want you focusing mostly on technique here. So you see Kyle, like I was saying before, his heels are directly under his knees. If he wants to make it harder, he'll take his legs straight out. That is for advanced members who have really strong positioning here.
And really strong triceps.
Yes, and a good range of motion through shoulders. And resting, guys, really, really good work. We're moving back to that bicep curl static with movement combination in the wide orientation. Wonderful. So we're breathing hard here. We are making sure we're engaging our core to support the work that's happening in our upper body, staying nice and tall through the chest, keeping nice and open, and keeping that chin up. Being nice and confident with these moves, guys. What I find sometimes going through exercises, if I feel like they're hard and I put myself in a defeated stance, the moves feel so much harder. But if you put yourself into the position of like, this might be hard, but I'm gonna do it, they don't feel nearly as hard. So put yourself in that like proud positioning, that really strong stance, and it might feel a little easier for you at home. We're resting here, guys. We're gonna go back to our delt activated bicep curl for the final time here. Only 20 seconds left of workout 1.0. So we're gonna get it, folks. I want you pushing as hard as you can with proper activation. If you're pushing hard and kind of like dancing through it, like power to you, that's just not the move. You know, so we want to make sure that we're getting those biceps, that we're firing those delts, and that we're getting the most out of every opportunity. And resting at home, folks. Really good work getting through that. That was a whole lot of burn in a very small little pocket. So really good work getting through that. Grab that water. We are going to start demoing what's happening next for workout 2.0. So, yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, I felt that.
So for workout 2.0, guys, we have technically 3 different trisets that are going to happen-ish. I'll explain what I mean. Workout 2.0 is an EMOM. So we have a rep-based move that's happening at the top of the minute. For example, for the first one, you're doing 10 heavy lat pullovers. You notice how his lower back is glued to the floor. He is focusing not as much on using core. Meanwhile, core does have to be active, but that's not the whole intention or goal. He is trying to use this big muscle group right here to pull that weight overhead. He is going to perform 10 of these. As soon as those 10 reps are done, he is moving to a very rapid chest pulse for the remainder of the minute, okay? So you want to try to get those lat pullovers done in a timely fashion, but you want to be able to have at the end a few of those pulses, folks. So that is the first EMOM requirement. You're going to do that 2 times through. After you've done that 2 times through, we're going to move on to 10 Superman lat pull downs. Kyle is using a red band. You guys can use a tea towel, a t-shirt, a band, whatever you have available, and you have 10 pull downs. Kyle's toes are pushed into the floor. His legs and glutes are very active. He's keeping his chest off of the floor and skimming the band down his head, driving his elbows down and in. 10 of those will be followed by I, Y, or T pulses. Now you're going to choose if you want an I, a Y, or a T based on your own mobility. Once you find whichever one is most comfortable for you, you will stick to it. We're doing that set for 2 of the EMOMs. Okay, so we are now 4 minutes into our EMOM. Our final set of moves to finish our EMOM out, we're doing 10 static hold alternating rows. So one side is going to stay up while the other lowers. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, etc. And then right at the end, you are going to hold at the top for the remainder of that minute. You're going to do that 2 times through. Okay?
We're gonna try.
We're going to try. Now, if I find that he's going too quickly through those chugs, I might alert or cue you guys to change that up and do 2 sides that equals 1 rep instead of every side equaling 1 rep. But I will let you know very loud and clear if that is going to happen. For the time being, let's do it the way that it was demoed. All right? So we've got 6 minutes up on the clock. There is no time to rest in between these supersets, so I'm going to make sure to be very vocal on what's coming up next so you guys know what to expect. We're starting at the top with our heavy lat pullovers and our chest pulses. So get ready, we're doing 2 rounds of that, meaning 2 minutes of that before we move on. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Your lat pullovers have started. Your lower back is glued down to the floor. As you're looking at Kyle, you're noticing, hey, he's not going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. He is choosing to really focus and engage on those muscles. He has a full minute to finish this move and then finish off with the added bonus of a chest pulse, all right? So I want you guys to think of it that way, that the first move is the primary move. The second move is the added bonus to that primary move. We're just over halfway here. How many reps have you got, Kyle?
8.
He's at 8. You guys are at whichever rep that you're at home. Try to calibrate it so that you're going to get a little bit of both in. We have 13 seconds remaining. Kyle's just switching over now. You guys are switching over whenever you switch over. I want you to push as hard as you can through this secondary move before you go right back immediately into those lat pullovers. So this is a very fast transition, guys. We've tried to make all of these moves very similar, so in terms of orientation of the body, so that you can very quickly transition from one to the next. Now, after this minute is over, you are very quickly flipping over onto your belly to get into that Superman position to do your Superman lat pull downs and your I, Y, or T pulses. That is what's coming up next. You are halfway through this strength element, counting your own reps at home, and then you're going to move into those pulses whenever you've completed 10. Nice work, guys. Go 15 seconds left in this minute, preparing yourselves to put down that weight nice and gently, and very quickly flip over onto your belly, having your pull down material very close by. Kyle's got his band right above his head. So that weight goes down, he flips over as quickly as possible, and boom, he's on to the next round. Really good work at home, guys. I know transitions can be a little bit hard sometimes. We're trying to make it easy for you today. That's it. Again, 10 reps of this first move, followed by IYT pulses for the remainder of this minute. This is the first out of 2 rounds that you're going to be accomplishing with this specific set of moves. You are halfway. Keep persevering through. Try to keep pushing your body. I know that there is a hard and fast burn that comes with these moves. I understand that. I want to see you guys try to push through that burn, get a little mental grit, physical grit to push through to the end here. We have 11 seconds left. Kyle's just reached that pulsing. He's choosing a Y or a T, it looks like, somewhere in between. And then immediately going back up, grabbing that band or that tea towel or that t-shirt or whatever you have available, and finishing 10 more reps. I feel Kyle's pain here. I can tell that he is in a hot fire flames, fully engulfed inferno, structure fire, bonfire, dumpster fire. It's whatever kind of fire you can think of. That's what's happening here. He's got sweat trailing down his back, working hard. I am anticipating that this is kind of what it looks like at home too, guys. If it takes you the entire minute to get through these 10 reps, that's what it takes. Get through the 10 reps, finish as strong as you can through this move, and then that's that, folks. We're going to move right after this to our static hold alternating rows. So it's a rather quick transition. You have 10 seconds. Maybe think about standing up while the timer is beep, beep, beeping. So right about now, you're going to get up. You're going to grab the weights. You're going to do 10 static hold alternating rows. At this point in time, you're counting every one as one. You notice that Kyle is not going at lightning speed. He is doing this nice and slowly, which means that he's going to have a lovely ratio between the working period and the static period. Lovely, folks. Keep pushing nice and hard. We've hit that halfway point here. Shaking it out because burning. Inferno flames. We have 18 seconds left, guys. This is the second last minute to our workout 2.0 before we move on to our finisher. So you see the static hold. He's trying hard to keep his neck nice and long. His core is staying strong. And we're going right back as soon as we can into those rows, folks. I know this is hard work. This is some mean business here. I totally understand that. Kyle's taking his time to get back into this. He knows that he can accomplish what he needs to accomplish here, so he's taking a little bit of a moment to breathe. I would encourage you guys to do the same. There's no reason not to if you can complete the moves in the appropriate time. This is our final round, folks, of our EMOM workout 2.0. And then we're going to move on to our fun-filled, adventurous finisher. Shaking it out, shaking it out. We've got about 20 seconds remaining, guys, in this final minute of EMOM. I want you to push yourself to your own personal limit. Give yourself a goal and do not waver on that goal through this entire 10-second period. Don't give up on that goal, whatever you've set for yourself. Please push through. You've got 3, 2, 1, relaxing. Really nice work. We're going to give ourselves a little moment here. We're going to breathe, we're going to water up, we're going to shake it out, we're going to try to put out those flames so that we're ready for our intense finisher moment. So for our finisher, guys, we have a descending ladder, all right? I'm going to give Kyle a second to breathe before he demos these moves so he can show you exactly what they're supposed to look like. We're going to go, let's say for 6 minutes. We're going to go for 6 minutes of finisher. So you have 6 minutes to try to get from 10 to 1. So again, what is a ladder? A ladder is you're going to have 4 different moves. You're going to perform 10 reps of each move. Then you're going to go back to the top and then perform 9 reps of each move. Every round, you are subtracting 1 rep from your rep count. So 10, 9, 8, 7 until you hit 0. So the goal isn't always to hit the bottom in the time mounted to you. The goal is to get the best quality reps that you can and to keep repeating. This is a burnout, folks. I don't expect you to be able to keep up with Kyle. I expect you to set a solid goal for yourself and stick to it. All right? So, our 4 moves. Move number 1, we have a push press. You can grab a pair of dumbbells for this. You can grab 1 dumbbell for this. You can use a red band for this. All right? So you see that Kyle is using his knees, popping the weight above his head, practicing good technique with where his range of motion in his shoulders is, and then popping it back down to his chest. That is move number 1. Move number 2 is delt fly tricep extensions. You have Barbie doll arms. Your Barbie doll arms come up, and then boom, they kick out, coming back to that 90-degree position, and then coming back. So this is 1. Next one, we are going to perform push-ups. Kyle's taking a moment here, guys. If you have a band, this is what the move will look like for you. Next move, you're doing push-ups, folks. Whether you're doing push-ups from your toes or push-ups from your knees, or maybe even a mixture of both. We all know at this point how to perform our push-ups. We are seasoned professionals at our push-ups. Next and final move, we've got our high row bicep curl. Each time you perform those 2 moves, it equals 1 rep. All right? if even our seasoned professionals are going to get through all the way through this ladder. Again, not the point. The point is good quality movement. The point is getting in as many reps as you can with perfect technique. All right? It is about moving your body as much as possible. So I'm going to set up a timer. It's going to be 6 minutes.
We're stepping our game up today, guys.
Yeah.
Normally those are 10 pounds I use. We're 12 and a half today. We're going a little heavy.
We're pushing our limits.
Let's try it.
We're going to get this party started, guys, in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Now, I'm going to keep reminding you of the movements because sometimes it's hard to have something written down and follow it at the same time. So, obviously, move number 1, push press. After that, you're moving to your delt fly, tricep extension, Barbie arms. After you're done those, folks, you're moving into your push-ups and then your high row bicep curls. Now, if you feel that it might be easier to transition from this to a different move, feel free to mix up the order if it works better for you. Just make sure that you are doing each one with the right rep count before you move on to the next one, okay? So Kyle's working on his delt fly tricep extensions right now. Next up, he is doing his push-ups. And then after his push-ups, he's doing his high row bicep curls. Choose your own adventure going through this, folks. You know that when we do these style of AMRAP type things or ladders in workouts, that I will put it on a board and you guys will choose how you go through it. You don't have to follow the exact order. This is your workout. Make it fun for you. Make it work for you. That's it. Kyle's on his final move of the 4 moves. And his next sequence or series through, he gets to drop a rep and he's on to 9. You guys are pushing through at your own tempo or pace. You might still be somewhere along the first round of those 4 moves. You might be pushing past Kyle's tempo. Whatever works for you. That's it. Kyle's going to keep working on demoing as we go, trying to get as far as he can in these 6 minutes. He's on to his delt fly tricep extensions. He's showing what it looks like with the band this time. So if you're confused and you want to use the band but you're not sure how, look up to the screen now. This is what it should look like. This is this move with the band. After this, he's moving back down to his push-ups. This time he has 9. So thrilling that each time you go through these 4 moves, you get less and less and less. Lovely. Less work, but still lots of impact, right? After his push-ups, he's going to his high row bicep curls and then popping back up to the top with those push presses. Look at him go. We're flying, guys. We're pushing ourselves hard. It's a Tuesday. It's going to be another scorcher outside. We're getting the hard work done early in the morning so that we can have a nice, cool shower and enjoy the rest of our day. Off the end of this move, we're going to pop back up to those push presses, guys. Again, push press, those Barbie arm delt flies, those push-ups, and the high row bicep curls. Kyle's doing great. He's on his round with 8 reps. I would love,
Come on.
we are halfway through, guys. I would really
Push it,
love
Kyle.
to hear at the very end of this workout how you did. Where did you get to? And on top of that, more importantly, more important than the number that you got to, I want to hear how it felt to go through these moves. I want to hear how strong you felt. I want to hear how challenging the moves felt for you. I want to hear how you felt engagement-wise through these moves. That, I feel, is even more important than what number you might have gotten to. Really nice work, guys. We have less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this workout remaining. We are very close to completion here. I want everybody to dig deep, go right into that like burning little ball of fire in the middle of their soul, you know, and ask it to like contribute a little bit more fire, a little bit more passion to push yourself through to the end of this workout. We've all tuned in this morning at 10 a.m. for a reason. We're all here for a reason. Let's find that reason, let's dig down deep, and let's pull it to the forefront. We're taking it and we're pushing it right to the end. We have less than 2 minutes remaining, folks. We are pushing hard through these rounds. Kyle is crushing here. I can see that he is going nice and consistently through these moves. He is making sure that his body positioning is as good as what he can physically do right now at this point of the workout. He's being safe, he's making good decisions. That's what I want to see from you guys too. Finishing really strong with less than 1:30 remaining on that clock. We are not exactly having to pick up the tempo as much as we are trying to stay consistent with that strong tempo that we've created for ourselves from the onset of this finisher. Let's try to finish with that same perseverance, that same inner strength that we started with. Let's finish strong. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Let's see where we can get, folks. Let's see how our body can push through this final minute. How are we doing, Kyle? You blew a shoe. Doesn't matter. We are going, guys. Kyle is working. Kyle is sweating. He is living his best life here. Keep it up, guys. Keep pushing, knowing that you have 30 seconds left, and then you get a nice long rest until tomorrow at 10. What a great thought. That's it. Almost there. 20 seconds of your time being spent with us at the studio until this workout is complete. Proud of you guys for pushing through. This is not easy work, what we're doing here today. Like Kyle said, easy moves, lots of sweat. 3, 2, 1, and done. Really good work, guys. I want you guys to write in the comment section the number that you got to and how it felt to go through that workout. I want to hear feedback on what your body felt like. That's one thing working between a screen and our people like this that we don't hear as much. We see the numbers, we see how many rounds you get through, but what we don't hear as much right now is how you feel, what that workout felt like, how you experienced that. So I want you guys to explain that to us right now. Take the time, write it out, let us know. Kyle's going to take his moment to relax, grab that water, and he's going to go through a stretching sequence for you that is going to help with what you just experienced.
Oh.
So guys, please make sure to check in online. Hashtag we are proactive. Hashtag give vitamins. The month is almost over. We're going to have a new cause that we're going to be helping next month. So let's try to finish really strong with the cause that we have this month. Hashtag give vitamins, giving nutrients to mothers and children who do not have readily accessible vitamins or food that will give them nourishment for their bodies. So let's really work on doing that after our workout, and I'm going to leave it to Kyle now to take you through your cool down. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Let's do it, guys. Let's stretch it out. I got to just 5 left. So let us know what you guys got. That is over halfway.
Awesome.
Anybody who finished round 7, you completed over half the reps. So amazing work, guys. We're going to start off with a pec stretch, the one we did at the start. So elbow and wrist up on the wall, stepping forward with the same side leg, playing around with the angle like Heather said. The higher you go, the more of a stretch you're going to get through your pec muscle because it inserts on your humerus right here. So it all starts here, wraps in through, and comes up here. So the higher your arm is, the more of a stretch you get if you're not quite feeling it down here anymore. We're going to stay on this side. We're going to lengthen our arm behind us, turn either the blade of your hand or the back of your hand to the wall, and stretch out your bicep the same way. So again, the higher you go with that arm, the more you're going to feel that stretch. There was a lot of bicep, tricep, pec, back today. It's a good thing because it's get jacked. So your bicep really needs to stretch out. Switch sides. If you leave your bicep with a little bit of a bend for like 4 weeks, you'll never get that range of motion back. That's why doctors, recent years, no longer cast arms for longer than 2 weeks. After that, they put you in a sling and they start to get you to move it. Because if you hold it in that short position for, I believe it's 4 weeks, might be 6, you'll never, ever get that range of motion back. As per science today, that may change next year. Switch your arm over, straight behind you, turn your hand over. We'll really lengthen that bicep out. So the reason I mentioned the bicep specifically is a lot of us sit at our desks like T-Rex all day long with these shortened arms. And our bicep is sitting in this short position for a long period of time. So we want to make sure we're lengthening it out, regaining that range of motion so that we're less prone to injury. We're gonna bring that hand up behind our head, stand nice and tall. Whew, we don't wanna be bent over like this, trying to stretch out our tricep. We wanna be standing nice and tall. So maybe you only get to here, perfectly okay. Just stretching it out, we'll switch sides. And please remember, like Heather said, hashtag we are proactive, hashtag give vitamins. If you use both in the post, we are going to see it. We will love you. Not that we don't anyways, but it's going to go into a good cause. Every 2 check-ins is giving vitamins to undernourished mother and children who need it. So please, there's only what? 5 days left in May. So hashtag give vitamins when you guys check in. Well done, shake that out. We are going to go to the floor. We're going to put our palms facing down, fingers pointing to the front. From here, I'm going to get you guys to face the eye of your elbow to each other, and then we're going to rock forward on our wrists. There's quite a bit of stuff today where we were putting pressure through our wrists. We want to open those up a little bit. The closer you are together with your hands, the more of a stretch you're going to get at a different angle. You can go a little wider, playing around with it. Where do you feel it the most? Rocking yourselves forward, getting that stretch through the forearms. The closer you are to your knees, again, as well, the bigger stretch you're going to get. We're going to flip our palms over, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to rock backwards towards our heels. This is not going to feel the same as the other way. Usually it is lacking a lot more range of motion on this side, just because of the anatomy of our hands. So go a little slower, rock it a little bit less, just getting a little more pressure. One more, guys. We're going to flip it palm down. We're going to spread our fingers wide to the side like this, making a little bit of a spider with your fingers. Now from here, that eye of the elbow like I talked about is facing you right now. We want it to face each other. So that's going to come from your upper arm, rotating inwards. From here, we're going to rock side to side, getting a little bit of a stretch on both sides of the wrist, trying to keep that eye of the elbow to the center. It will want to turn out on you. Oh, feels great, guys. Well done. You can shake that out, go get a little bit more water, enjoy your day. Please check in, use the hashtag give vitamins. There's not much time left for it. Again, only 2 check-ins is required for those vitamins to go who needs them, so please check in. Hashtag give vitamins, hashtag we are proactive. We will see you tomorrow.